folks. Welcome to the next episode of the Snowy's Camping Show. Joined by myself, Ben, and my colleague Lauren. How you going on this cold? You've got a blanket down under the table there.
And I'm getting a bit sick again, which I'm over.
Yeah.
You might hear some little clicking and clacking. That's a Vicks vapor drop rolling around in my mouth because I'm trying to breathe.
We're well into winter here now, and I think it's funny because you said this morning I'm over it, and I was driving to work this morning and said I thought to myself, I've had enough of this. I'm ready. Yeah. I'm ready for warm weather again. Don't like what it's apparently. I heard on the news that it's supposed to be snow in 7 states today in Australia.
It just feels like I often think to myself, am I just getting old, or is this the coldest winter ever? It just feels like the coldest winter that we've had in a while, especially in Adelaide. I mean, we've had some big chunks of solid rain, but we haven't really had consistent rain.
Yeah.
And I think because we haven't had consistent rain and we've had lots of really clear winter days, it's just the heat's just going out into the atmosphere. There's no clouds to insulate us. It's just bloody cold all the time.
Yep.
I live on the Adelaide Plains or in the foothills, but, you know, not high. The amount of times that I've had to put water on my car because there's literal ice in the mornings, it's unreal.
Yeah.
I used to get that all the time when I lived in the hills, but not down here.
Yeah, I'm ready for warm weather. We are in the depths of winter, I suppose. But anyway, I feel like we're on the counter, and I do
bloody sun.
I want to believe that it's just the coldest winter we've had, but I do think age has something to do with that. But I'm not going to engage in that conversation.
Cold, achy, anyway, old.
So we're going to have a short.
You're just in denial about getting old. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I'm not getting old. No. I'm like Benjamin Button. I'm getting younger. I honestly believe that. I've just pulled out we're going to do a short episode today. I've just pulled out a question already, but before we read it, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, your favourite podcast app, and join in the conversation at the Snowy's Camping Banter Facebook group. Now, we'll do some short eps today. We're going to be recording more than one, but we'll do just one in one episode and do the one after. So this is this doesn't say it's a customer question, because we just throw some things in here. It's actually quite full at the moment. There's all sorts of questions in there. This is a pretty straightforward one. Canvas versus synthetic tents, which is the better option?
Yeah.
I guess, this is it.
Can I lead this? Only because just before here I had a conversation with a customer, a little bit different. They were asking about looking at a shelter, and they were like, is this the best shelter? And I was like, well, this is such a subjective conversation. You know, like obviously the stock that we sell is obviously all good gear, but whether or not it's the best shelter, actually that the answer of that would be different for different customers, right?
Yeah.
So it depends on your budget, your pack size, weight considerations, you know, how you camp, your camping style, how often you camp. Like all of those questions need to be answered in order to work out what is the best.
Yeah. I think the primary thing is a canvas tent's going to be bulkier and heavier than a synthetic tent. So if you don't have the room for it, then it's probably not the best for you in that case. So if you're a car camper out of a sedan, even a wagon, maybe an SUV.
Yeah.
If you're camping as a family, a 4-person durable canvas tent is going to be bulky. You're going to need a long roof space or a fair bit of space in your boot to fit it in.
Yeah.
So in that instance, synthetic's probably a better option.
Yeah.
If you don't have restrictions on vehicle space or weight, and you're happy to lug a very heavy thing around, you're going to get something that potentially breathes a little bit better, is probably better UV resistance, is more durable potentially, although some synthetic fabrics, what Zempire's coming out now with some of their solution dyed fabrics are really durable.
Some of the stuff that they've got on the horizon that we've had a sneak peek of, I was like, God damn, this feels so good.
It feels like canvas.
Yeah.
It's got even a fluffy sort of finish to it.
Yeah.
So, this is goes back to what you said.
Yeah.
I don't think there is a better option. If you want the canvas tents, I'm all over the place here. I'm not sure how to start this conversation. I thought it would be simple, but I've added heaps of complexities in my head straight away. Canvas tents used to be just canvas, 100% cotton canvas. There was no waterproof film or anything on it. And it's was waterproof through surface tension, like water would sort of bead off, or if it did get wet, it kind of would swell up and the fabric could be wet, but it wouldn't kind of let water through.
Yeah, it's like the density of the material and the fibres.
Yeah. Tear strength wasn't that great, but durability was quite good. And then they introduced polycotton canvas. So now you've got canvas and synthetic
with ripped top
in the
weaves.
same. Yeah, so you got the strength of the synthetic and the breathability of the canvas, but they've then gone and thrown PU coatings on it, which kills the breathability of the canvas anyway, but increases waterproofness. So in that instance, you're kind of getting that durability and thickness and maybe a little bit of breathability with the benefits of synthetics. You're getting the UV resistance. So you kind of got the best of both worlds, which is what most swags are made of nowadays. And then there's just synthetics, which pack up much smaller, lighter weight. They're waterproof. You can put like PU coatings. We've done I think we've done an episode on PU coatings on fabrics. You can apply PU coatings to synthetic fabrics much better. So you can get better waterhead ratings, much more waterproof fabrics. But if you leave a synthetic fabric out, and you've seen gazebos are a classic one, 3 by 3 meter gazebo. People put it in their driveway over their car. 3 months later, it's faded and tearing apart.
Yeah.
Because the UV's just killed it. And that's just what UV
welcome
does.
To Australia.
Yeah, welcome to Australia.
Yeah.
So you don't get the longevity out of polyester fabrics, but you get something that's far more, as we mentioned previously, portable.
Yeah.
Now, people might think, oh, I use my tent all the time in the outdoors when I'm camping. Fair enough. If you're going to set up, and here's, my mind's literally on a path here. I don't know where it's going, and I'm just talking as it's coming in.
Loving it.
If you want to, the type of camper who goes, I literally go and set up for 3 months in one spot and then go home like 3 months at a time. My tent's set up. I don't know many people who do that.
Get a canvas.
Pretty cool if you could. You are going to want canvas.
You will get a canvas tent.
Your synthetic tent's going to fall apart.
Yeah.
For family campers who use it for a weekend here and there, don't stress over the UV killing your tent, because it does have some treatments to resist that, but you're going to get more than the lifetime you need out of your tent in those weekend uses by putting it up. And quite often it's only up for a portion of that time, because you put it up in the evening, you take it down in the morning, so it's only got a few full days in the sun, and you get your lifetime out of what you've spent on those tents.
Yeah.
Does that answer the question?
Potentially. I think if you're looking to invest in a tent that you will still be using in 20 years' time, get a canvas tent.
If you can fit it in your car.
But at the same time, there's no point investing in a tent that you can't use.
Yeah.
And so that sort of ultimately is what comes down to it. I think a lot of people, the synthetic option is convenient because of affordability.
Yep.
And then people are like, oh, well, who cares if it lasts me 5 years because it's only cost X amount. So it can, you
pay less for
a synthetic tent. Therefore, obviously, if it lasts longer and you have to replace it, it's not as much of a, there seems to be a little bit of a mentality of, okay, well, if a tent costs me $500, then you would expect to replace it after a certain amount of time.
There are some lighter canvases like Oztent's 8-ounce canvas that they use in their RV range. Their RX range is a Modcon, which is actually a synthetic, which is a pretty nice feeling synthetic. But that 8-ounce canvas, I've got an RV tent that I've used heaps. We used it nonstop for 3.5 to 4 months. And that they just keep on keeping on that material. But that's got the PU coating. It's a polycotton canvas, 8-ounce polycotton canvas. So it's a mix. So it kind of has the best of both worlds. But it's over 20 kilos and 2 meters long. So I've got to put it on the roof rack. So
I think the other thing that can be hard, especially if you're doing a lot of wet weather camping or winter camping, is making sure that the canvas is dry. I mean, it's the same with synthetic, but obviously synthetic will dry out quicker than the canvas. Which is the better option? Look, I would say purely from a perspective of longevity and robustness, go the canvas. And I guess hand in hand with that often is that a canvas tent will have a frame that is equally as hardy and durable. Because obviously the canvas material is also heavy and weighs a lot. So whether that be like a Black Wolf Turbo tent in the canvas version, the RV5, RX5. The frames are also sturdy. If you go for more of a synthetic tent, the even if the materials are really great, often the frames are also a fair bit lighter, designed to pack up small. We've talked about that with the limitations of an instant up frame in the past, haven't we? A little bit. So the most common inquiries we get from customers where their tents have, broken or been damaged in some capacity, 98% of those will be synthetic tent owners, and it'll be frame related, or it'll from like mostly weather instances, or it'll be things like the eyelets or little grommets and things that have ripped out, or the tags that stitch into the guy lines, they rip off. Whereas you just don't see that with canvas.
Yeah. It's a bit of common sense in how that's set up and what weather you're using it in as well.
Yeah.
If we're going to not flip this but go off on a slight tangent, I suppose, there's not actually, but if you're trying to choose for your setup, then I probably wouldn't use canvas or synthetic as the primary item for which direction you go.
Yeah.
Look at the whole range, because there is a lot more synthetic tent options in the market than there is canvas. There's less and less canvas, and particularly with the way synthetic fabrics are going, with the likes of what Oztent's used, and the solution dyed stuff that's Zempire have started to use. There's a lot of really durable synthetic fabrics out there now. So I would start with what suits what you're doing, the setup and everything.
Yeah.
The configuration of the tent that suits what you want to do first. Look at that first. Because trying to think what's the canvas tents that are available now, you've got your Blackwall Turbo and your Oztent. They're two classics.
Yep.
They're kind of cross-family camping and four-wheel drive touring.
You got your Safari, Darchi Safaris.
Yep. I reckon Darchi's air tents they're on the way out. They're being discontinued.
Yeah, but I don't think they're canvas. I'm pretty sure they're synthetic.
Are they? Okay.
I'm almost certain they are.
Canvas. Okay.
Let me double check.
I'm wrong on that one. Zempire have got some canvas air tents. They're not as focused on those, because while they are luxurious and sturdy, they are enormous when they're packed up, and
they're designed for the good old I'm going to go away for my whole 6-week summer holiday and just set up a house, a mansion on the beach type of style.
They're awesome tents. They're expensive and they're bulky. I can't think of what other canvas tents.
Those Darchi Evolution tents are Poly Oxford.
Okay, polyester Oxford. Okay. I'm trying to think what other canvas tents there are now. Like you've got a limited range, whereas synthetic, you've got Instant Ups, you've got all the Zempire range, you've got all the Oztent, fast frame tents, all your dome tents are all a synthetic.
Because synthetic tent options is a lot more.
I don't think I've ever sneezed on the podcast before.
Well, congratulations, first time.
I thought I'd call it out.
Yeah,
couldn't hide it. So.
Couldn't hide it. No. Yeah. There is a much, from a manufacturing perspective, a much greater potential for features and functionality with manufacturing of synthetic tents as well than there is with canvas. Oztrail, Coleman, they do those 3/4 room, 10 to 12 person tents. It's just, it's impossible to sort of get that level of functionality with bedrooms and doorways and windows and pockets and things in canvas, because you'd end up with a tent that was 100 kilos, right? And
expensive.
And very expensive, yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of the canvas options are very simple.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a bit of sacrifice there. Having said that though, I have heard from a customer who's had a synthetic tent for 8 or 9 plus years. They just look after it really well. The biggest issue that you have, as I know we've touched on in previous episodes with the synthetic tents, is just like sort of delamination of materials and fabric over time, because it's just the nature of that, how that works, that eventually coatings will peel off or whatever.
But I think I'm not sure if we've answered the question.
I hope canvas remains though.
I think it will to a degree. But even rooftop tents, some of those are now coming out with a synthetic to save weight, because there's more of a focus on weight now.
Yeah.
So they look the same. They're just as durable. And for the most part, it doesn't matter on a rooftop tent because you've got the hard shell on the top and the rest of the fabric's not in the I'm talking about hard shell rooftop tents, I suppose. So we've bubbled on a bit. I don't think there is a best option. Canvas for longevity, but it's going to be bulky. Synthetic, you're still going to get your dollars worth out of it, and it's going to be far more transportable.
Yeah. Cool.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. Let's call it then.
I was just having a thought was going through my head about how sad it would be to get to a point in the future where there weren't canvas tents being made anymore. And so that's why I was like, when I said, I hope canvas and then I just had this, I'm just feeling a little bit, not nostalgic. What's the word today? There's just been a few things that have come up and I'm just like, man, maybe it ties into the conversation at the beginning about getting old. Getting old. I'm just like, there's just so much in the world that's changing,
Yeah, maybe.
What's the future and the direction going to look like of this stuff? But
thank God it's Friday.
Anyway,
you got
thank
time
God
to
it's
reflect
Friday.
and recoup. All right.
Or Monday for you guys listening. Welcome to the new week, and carry that thought process with you throughout the week.
We record, All right. Well, we'll call that question answered. If you've got any questions or if you've got any feedback, let us know. Your thoughts on experience with canvas and synthetic tents, let us know. Keen to hear at the Snowy's Camping Banter Facebook group.
Catch you later, guys.
See you next time.